And on today's show, how to use the estate directory as an essential tool in befriending prospective clients. Part 3 of this week's series on building out your business with practice development strategies with nationally recognized author, platform speaker, and personal coach, Anthony Morris. Hi everyone, I'm Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and contributing author to InSmart, Life Specs, and Backroom Technician. Let's get down to business. Well, welcome to day 3, Anthony. Wow,
Thank you, Steve.
3 days with Anthony. Wow, I have to tell you. We're talking with Anthony Morris, platform speaker for MDRT, top of the table, NAFA, been on 5 different continents, world traveler. How many times are you on the road every year?
Oh, 200 days a year, Steve.
Oh, that's too much. I hope you can survive that, Anthony. We're going to talk today about the estate directory. And remember, if you missed our show on the financial key, this is one of the items that we want to put on the financial key. Anthony's going to walk us through this. This is really a great tool. And I love the way you say this. It actually befriends prospective clients. So this is a good first contact issue.
Absolutely, Steve. One of the neglected areas of planning for people is to have all of their records in one place. In other words, if Steve never made it home from movies, where would his family go to totally transition his life and collect all of the salient facts, passwords, bank account details, where are the keys, where are the titles, where's the jewelry, where's the stamps, what's in the family safe, what debts does Steve have, who's he being sued by, who's suing him, what credit cards does he have, what frequent flyer accounts does he have. Steve, do you know that with most of the airlines, if your spouse is not carrying an active supplementary card, when you die, your miles die with you? It's a little bit of fine print you should look out, not to be the Ralph Nader on today's show too much, but these are the key elements that we need to discuss with people. So if we can flick through quickly, I'll show you the types of things that are on an estate directory. Obviously, name and contact details of your client, address, current marriages, parents alive, where are the parents buried, etc., property casualty agent, religious person, where's my will, who are the executors of my estate, what about guardians, do I have a trust, do I have a special needs child, do I have a special needs trust, moving up, the health insurance of my special needs child, for how long is that guaranteed? What about my bank accounts, mutual funds, stocks, bonds, annuities, savings accounts, certificates of deposit? Okay. What about where's all my financial information located? What about my property and casualty? What about my group life and my organizational benefits, government life insurance? The other things, pension plans, IRAs, 401ks, business ownership and shareholding, social security information, legal actions that are pending, credit cards. Let's take a look at rent, mortgage payments. Have I signed security for anybody? Contractual obligations, other financial obligations, support or maintenance obligations. All right, let's take a look at my startup passwords for my laptop, my MacBook, my voicemail, online banking, financial institution, frequent traveler programs. Let's talk about affinity programs, social media. How do you shut down my Facebook, my Twitter, my LinkedIn, etc.? My YouTube channel. What must happen to my body? Who are my religious leaders that would be involved? Additional personal preferences and wishes. And you know the power of this to get in front of clients, Steve, and complete this. The client then takes the estate directory and saves it onto the financial key, which we talked about. You can literally sit in front of your client with a portable scanner, which you can pick up from any of your electronic stores, and you can save the PDF of this, which the client completes. The client has then got to lock that in their family safe or their safety deposit box, their fireproof safe.
Now, on the estate directory, and I'm trying to think of people that this is really quite a data collector. And this is going to really harvest all the information that the client has. And I'm thinking, wow, I'm not sure my clients know all the answers to this. So I could see that as a very disturbing kind of first contact with a client. And you're saying that's the key that we talked about in yesterday. I think it's the Monday show. We talked about the financial key, which we think is a great tool to have first engagement.
Absolutely. And I'm encouraging some of our experienced advisors who we coach to go back to their top 50 clients, take them over, take out, okay, go and send them the takeout menu, P.F. Chang's, Greek, Italian, whatever. Go and spend an evening, 2 or 3 hours across the kitchen table with that client and actually complete this with them. I have an advisor on the East Coast on one of my programs who took this to his top client in the first hour, completing their estate directory with his top client, discovered $1 million that the client had in a certain financial institution, which my advisor client had absolutely no idea about. So it really brings to the forefront all of the assets, the obligations, and some of those intricate and complex financial relationships, which the advisor then gets to unstitch and question and sees those soft issues and some of those emotional soft facts behind the money as well through how this gets completed with the client.
Well, I like even these soft issues that you bring up. I mean, I'm thinking, I'm looking at my own personal items. I'm thinking what I've done, but I don't think I've declared, do I want to be buried? Do I want to be cremated? Do I want to be entombed? Do I want to be giving my body to science? I haven't went through any of these things, and just that they're there, even if I already know, just that they're there, it makes me think about it. And you're the person that made me think about it, the advisor. So the advisor, it sounds like with this, I'm taking on much more of a holistic approach than just doing some numbers.
Absolutely. And, you know, in my work, I think the key thing that keeps me busiest as a speaker at conferences and as a coach of advisors is the fact that some of our home offices haven't been providing the kinds of tools for the next generation of advisor to positively engage the marketplace. We've never had a bigger shift of wealth and assets in history before. We've never had as tough some regulations and legislation behind the business, making this a tough business to survive in. And these are the kinds of tools we should be providing today's recruits with, I believe, so that we can effectively send them out there with confidence and competence into the marketplace to positively engage the people that they do know before they hit the cold, icy cold, unknown market.
Well, when we come back from the break, we're going to talk more about the estate directory and how we use this as a prospecting tool. And in my view, this is a really great data collector. We'll be right back after the break. It's not how much money you make for your clients, it's how much money they get to keep, especially in retirement. But retirement income could cause Social Security benefits to be taxed. One tax advantage alternative is life insurance designed as a non-modified endowment contract that can generate tax-free income without taxing Social Security benefits. These contracts offer differing funding options depending upon your client's risk tolerance. For more information on how life insurance can be part of your retirement planning, just email me at steve@downtobusiness.tv. Brought to you by Ash Brokerage, the practice enhancement company. Well, welcome back to our second segment. Of course, we're with Anthony Morris. Anthony's walking us through this really good data collector, the estate directory. Before we do, let's talk about your giveaways for the show today. You're giving away 6 items. Anthony?
Well, we have our monthly newsletter that is jam-packed with prospecting ideas, checklists, systems, and tools to really put today's advisor in front of more clients, because that's 80% of the Achilles heel of why advisors underperform relative to potential. We have some weekly video sales tips, 1 month's worth of really just very quick 2 to 3 minute tips that you can use each week to enhance your productivity. We have an estate directory ebook. How do you use the estate directory, practically speaking, to strategically position yourself to more prospects and get clients to open up those soft facts that lead to bigger cases. We have a magnificent special report about filling your calendar with clients who write much bigger checks, some 15 methodologies and tactics most of your viewers would never have heard of or used successfully before. We have some discount programs over here, completely free money we're giving away for you to use, and the 60-second pressure test we referred to on an earlier show, the 10-point questionnaire which you can use to really enhance your differentiation in the eyes of clients quickly.
Anthony, thank you for the giveaways. I really appreciate that. And of course, we're looking at the e-version of this. I'm assuming that. Is that correct?
The e-book that describes how you would use the estate directory.
Okay, great. Now, I'm looking at this estate directory, and I'm thinking I'm meeting with a client for the first time. I actually gave him the key that we talked about, the financial key, and now he has the directories. He looked at it, and he says, okay, Anthony, walk me through this. I mean, this is really in-depth, and maybe not all clients will have all the information. They may not have it at the tip of their finger, but this is our second meeting. You need to go get that then, right? I mean, basically.
That's the point. Steve, we talk about the principle of doing things 3 times. People are so digitally fatigued today. Let's face it. You're being bombarded with spam. You can't stay in a hotel, buy a suit at a store without them just being in your face all the time. And so people don't read things anymore. Our attention span has started to shrink dramatically. Hard enough to keep people's attention on a 6-minute show, let's face it.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you've got to give the financial key to people with version 1 of this on there, so that they can see the PDF version. I would email it to people as well. I would also then send Steve a soft copy at his place of work before the first meeting. And then when Steve comes in for the first meeting, or I'm in his home for the first meeting, I'm going to be getting the coffee, or quite frankly, using his restroom, and ask him to page through what I'd already sent him at work. He needs to look at the thing 3 or 4 times before he realizes the real power and the potential impact of this tool in his
So we're giving it to him with the key.
Yes.
We're sending him an email version of this.
A PDF, yes.
We're actually handing him a hard copy, or you said soft copy of this.
Yes.
All right, now so he's seen it 3 times. Now the 4th time, we're actually in front of him talking about it.
We're now suggesting that between meeting 1 and meeting 2, because we know that we make more money and help more people with bigger problems if we have a multi-meeting approach to the business. This business of selling a policy or taking over the investment account at the first meeting, having worked in Australia and the UK for a decade when they went through their most difficult periods of compliance and regulatory reform, the business of seeing someone and selling them something is going to be illegal within a decade in the United States. So we have a multi-meeting approach, and what you want to do is you want to get the client to complete this before the second meeting. Because if you think about it, Steve, what they've done is they've actually done all the hard lifting of the salient facts and saved you a huge amount of time and hundreds of dollars worth of your time by collecting all the information that you need to create and craft a quality plan or strategy for the client.
Anthony, how do you sell your client on the importance of really documenting all his financial situations, as well as some of these soft ideas like where am I going to get buried, cremated, things of that nature?
Well, let me ask you the question. You're a specialist in this field. Do you have this information right now stored in this format in your life?
I have some of it, but not some of the specific soft issues that you bring up.
Absolutely. And you'll see that just by putting this in front of clients, they get tremendously healthily intrigued and disturbed about their lack of personal organization in these key areas. The key for us is that the viewer or advisor needs to complete this themselves. It's the experience of doing it with a person that leads to easy referrals saying, you know, Steve, can I ask you if your mom and dad completed this? Do you think your brother-in-law, do you think your brother and sister have got all their stuff in one place? So the experience of completing this becomes the product, and the financial product comes along for the ride.
Well, I love that. The advisor should be doing this for himself, and then I'm sure he has siblings, which they will be impacted when their parents pass. So there's really issues here that they need to attend to themselves anyways, and it gives you a good practice run and really getting it down to yourself so that when you sit in front of your client, you're ready to go.
Not only that, it's a wonderful lead magnet if you make this available off your website, that people can actually access this record keeper by filling in and giving you some information about themselves. It's a great giveaway for seminars and lunch and learns. It's an awesome tool for me to ask you to send to those people in your world who you might want to set up or create a warm introduction for me, which we traditionally call a referral.
Again, we're talking about the estate directory, and we're using this idea that we had on Monday's show called the Financial Key, which is a great physical tool, kind of a tactile touch item that we can give at any social event. It's really pretty easy. And I think this is different, and it's another unique way of an expression of getting in front of a client. Remember, before moving forward with any of the ideas on our show, always consult your tax advisor, legal counsel, or your broker-dealer compliance officer. Miss an episode? Just go out to our video archives. And remember, you could be wiser as an educated advisor. I'm Steve Savant. We'll see you tomorrow.